right now, we're going to discuss grave decisions.
It looks like somebody died there.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen those roadside grave markers.
Yeah, seen them a lot in movies.
Yeah, you see them a lot, but you're driving along, you'll see these roadside markers of where tragedies have happened, where people have died, and Roman is driving along, and he sees one of those roadside grave markers, and from the moment that he sees it, he can't erase it from his mind. He just keeps thinking about it and thinking about it, and he knows he has to go back to that roadside grave marker. He knows he has to go back. It's just he's compelled to do it. So he goes back to that roadside grave marker, and basically he gets he's talking to a woman there who is actually the one who that grave marker is for. And in conversation, he realizes that. And then she gives him a mission, something he has to do. Because she can't rest until the person that caused that grave marker to be there is actually brought to justice. Okay? So that's grave decisions. Yeah. And one thing I wanted to add to that is the person that actually caused that woman to be killed is featured in another film we have called Cross Country that didn't make the cut in our Bible bracket, but it doesn't mean that we won't actually produce that film, especially because it has a connection to grave decisions. So, Clint, if you were coming to an open call and you wanted to be in grave decisions, what kind of questions would you have?
Well, I would like to know if this is going to be a supernatural that is on the thriller or horror side, or it's going to be lighthearted.
Okay, and for you, Katie, what questions would you have about grave decisions?
I guess I would want to know what draws him so much to go back and start, bringing this person to justice. Does he have some kind of tie to it? Has something similar? Maybe a family member has died on the side of the road or something. Like what exactly is it that draws him to go back?
And that is, as Clint hinted, partially the supernatural part of it. The woman who died is reaching out, her spirit is reaching out. And most people aren't attuned to her vibration at all. They just pass by and they look at it for a second and they don't give it another thought. The act of him glancing at it and it being stuck in his mind gave her access. And she was able to influence him, and she was able to bring him back so that then she could send him on the mission to find out who actually took her life. And in the film, we dig a little deeper into that. But on top of that, it's also a thriller. It's a search for a killer. It's a search, and if you're searching for a killer and there's a grave marker, where do you start? Well, first you start by going to the officers investigating her murder. And then what happens if when you go to them, because you're asking questions, suddenly you become a suspect.
Mm.
So then the story gets a little more complicated, especially because of the premise of Cross Country. It becomes a little bit more complicated, but it becomes simple as well because of the way we are all interconnected these days because of the internet and because of social media. So now I'm going to go on to our, unless somebody has another question, if you have anything to add, Clint. If not, I'm going to go on to